is our best policy.
Welcome to Bachelor Happy Hour's Golden Hour. We're back, Susan, and thank y'all for joining us. We love your questions. We want you to keep them coming. Go to bachelornation.com/golden hour and submit them for us. We love answering your questions.
Absolutely, please. And you know what to do, guys. You know how to find it, just like always. bachelornation.com/golden hour or wherever you listen to your podcast.
Okay, so today, let's get into last night's happenings on Joan's season. What did you think?
Oh my gosh. So I think it was a very emotional night. There was a lot of sharing, like when people opened up about what they went through. Pascal, I don't know how to say it right. Pascal. What a story. I felt so bad. I like him even more. I really do. What he went through, and he was determined to make something out of himself. Yeah. The cardboard in the shoe that was worn out that his dad did.
Yeah.
That took me.
You know that I've kind of made some jokes about Pascal and his cooking and cleaning and his Gucci and Louis Vuitton. But I will say that gave it a little context last night that, he had a rough time of it. I loved their one-on-one at the Paris hotel. That was super fun.
It was dressing up and playing dress up. They were so cute. And I think she kissed him a little better than most.
I was thinking it was more of a peck, but okay.
She does a lot of pecks, but I think she let him kiss her a little bit. But yeah. So what about Kathy?
I do like how he said, don't judge by the cover. You have to read the story.
Love
and
that.
I will say his story is absolutely riveting. So, as many of the other guys.
My Charles, he's a new man. It was so sad hearing him about his wife's passing, and Joan got emotional with him. He is so adorable. I'm glad that he's coming about, if you will, like accepting, and he blamed himself for a long time, and then he realized that it wasn't him. I don't know if that was because of a language thing or why he felt that way, but Joan was reassuring that I'm so happy.
Yeah, that was, I have to say, before we go through any of the other guys, you and I are both very good friends with Joan, and I have to say, she is making us golden women, at least me, extremely proud. She is so kind. I keep texting her. She is so kind to these guys. She listens to them. She genuinely cares about them. So yay you, Joan.
She does.
But the other
I texted her last night. I said this was hard to watch. It was extremely emotional, and she agreed. Yeah,
it was tough.
And her coming about not being sure. I'm sorry, Kathy. Not being sure if she was ready to open herself up. And
she has said that to us.
Yes,
she has said
she's not replacing her husband.
Right.
She'll always remember Chalk had a lot to say there.
Right. But wait, I thought when they were talking, of course, to me, Chalk is a front runner, if not the guy.
Absolutely.
I mean, their intimate moments are just so definable and clear to me. Yeah. But I will say, Joan, when we have children, when we had our kids, we had our first kid, and we couldn't imagine how much we loved that child, and could we ever love another child? Mm-hmm. I think Joan, it's so clear that she'll never forget John, that her heart is just expanding to bring in a new love. Mm-hmm. So I just love that.
Like you, Kathy, if you were to meet somebody, you'd never try to replace your husband. He will always take a piece of your mind, your heart, your soul. Yeah. But you can move on and accept some more love.
Yeah,
if you will.
I agree. Wholeheartedly.
Okay, wait. How about the kickball? They were so bruised up.
Did you see them holding their thighs and
they all
limping?
needed ice packs.
Ice pack. I just thought, who was it? Chalk said we're playing like we're, young kids again. But how fun. I wish we had gotten to play kickball. I love those sports.
Look, when I hit the lady in the chest trying to play pickleball, that was a lot.
Well, kickball's still fun.
What Jordan said, I am not going to lose. Jordan was like, he was playing hard because they wanted that date.
When they all wanted that one-on-one time
I
with
know.
Joan that day. What about Kim writing the song for Joan, and nobody wanted to sing it with him? That just broke my
Yeah,
heart.
but the doc did at the end.
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
Guy stepped up and sang with him.
But you know what, Kathy? I agree with the men. That was his song.
No,
Why
yeah.
do you want the whole crew to do it, you know?
I just think he was looking for camaraderie. I thought it
Yeah,
was such a
yeah.
sweet thing, and it was sad when he went home. But wait, I think the most poignant, or one of the most poignant parts for me last night was Jonathan. When he was talking about packing his suitcase to go home, in case he had to leave the show, in case he was sent home. And he said it just reminded him of when he and his
He was
wife
blindsided.
and blindsided. And he said, talk about just a trigger, opening up that suitcase to pack it. And he said, I'm not enough. I wasn't enough. I'm not sure I'm enough. And I just thought, that is so revealing that this handsome, athletic guy still was so worried about not being enough and having to leave. I thought it was just amazing.
How about how Joan came back and said, you're on a one-on-one. You know you're enough.
Exactly.
I chose you to go. Never, ever feel that way again. That was beautiful.
Was that beautiful? That's what I'm saying.
Beautiful.
Joan is so in tune with these guys. And obviously she can only pick one, but she's just so genuine with all these guys. I was so you know
what else
with that.
I really love what Jonathan said, and I see that tattoo on his chest when he talked about his heritage.
What about Joan? What about Joan with her mom being sick?
Oh,
I just thought,
how do you focus?
How do you focus? I mean, her mom is like 92 or 94, and I just thought, again, how committed is she?
Her on our show with the troubles with her daughter and that emotional tear, if you will. Now she's worried about her mom. It was a tough night for her. It really was.
And the other thing, it was. The other thing I loved was Charles saying, don't pressure yourself. Let your heart decide.
Take your time. I'll still be here.
Yeah, it was so sweet. And then, of course, Gary.
Oh, wait a minute. Before Gary, Chuck, remember he said, can I talk to you? And he took her outside.
Yeah.
And he's like, I'm always here if you want to talk. But wait, remember what she made, the comment that she made after that?
Tell me.
Not only how safe that she felt, but he is a lot like John.
Exactly. John. And have you noticed it looks like he leaves next week? So I'm a little concerned, but we all know Bachelor Nation. He leaves, goes around the block and comes back. I'm guessing this is not his swan song on this show.
Or he shows up right before the overnights or something, some kind of twist.
Yeah. There's going to be there's going to be something. Okay, now we have to talk about Gary.
Yes.
Gary, let me say to you, when Gary said, have you considered the possibility that your guy is not here? I thought, I was very surprised. Honestly, that reminded me sort of Leslie telling when she was in wherever they were on was it Joey's season? On Joey's season.
In Mexico. We were in Mexico in Tulum.
Yeah. It was like, I want Joan and I wanted Joey's girls. And of course, he's happily in love with Kelsey, but
absolutely,
you want to embrace, and you hope that these people know what's on the line. And I think they do. Clearly, Joan does. And I just wish Gary had said, you know what? I hope the love of your life is here. I support you.
Rather than, do you think maybe he's not here?
That's just casting doubt in her mind. So, Gary, I love you, but I think that was maybe...
Rephrase that statement.
Rephrase that, Gary. Work it out. And then what about Joan at the rose ceremony when the guys were going home? She was hugging them, saying saying it's not you. I made connections with all of you. I think it's hard enough to send people home. I'm guessing I've never had to do it, but
no, but we were one of them getting sent home.
Right,
like that feeling, like waiting for the name to be called. You're so anxious and you're guessing. I mean, you're hoping, but you don't know what's going to happen.
But when she said goodbye to them, she hugged them and had little words of comfort for each one of them. I am so I'm
she's
so
doing a hell of a job. She really is.
she really is. I'm just so excited for her.
Yeah.
And
And she
it was
looks
a great
stunning,
week.
of course.
So wait, who went home? Kim, CK, and
Wait, how about the football guys? Eric Dickerson and Andre Reed. Hello.
I mean,
There's some big shots.
wouldn't you have liked to seen a flag football game?
Yeah, I didn't know what they were going to do. And then they ended up doing the kickball.
Yeah. I mean, all sports are fun.
That was
But,
pretty exciting. Yeah.
That's pretty exciting. You know, those guys were thrilled to meet him.
And how about what Joan said? Don't hurt my boyfriends. I heard that loud and clear. That was adorable.
Yeah, no, it's just, I think these guys are genuinely having a good time. They're genuinely, some of them are really making strong connections with Joan. And I truly believe we're 3 weeks in, this process is working. For Joan, and I think I still hold out that Chalk is the front runner just because of the way they interact with each other. But she's with Jordan, Guy. You can see that she's making some connections.
And she hasn't had a one-on-one with Guy yet.
No,
I think she's probably, my guess would be that she will give him a one-on-one time. So
Yes.
she'd like to get to know more. Because
I
Kathy,
agree.
you know as well as I do, those 3-minute times with somebody. You know what else I noticed? And tell me if you saw this or feel this. I watch the conversation or listen to the conversation in that short period of time. Yeah. And I noticed, like with Gary and I, we were generic talking. What's your schedule like? What's your morning routine? And yet others go right down deep.
Yeah.
And they tell their feelings and how they were hurt or what their experience was. And then others are real light, know. And
I think she truly is a great bunch of guys, and I cannot wait for week 4 and find out if Chalk is really gone or what's going on there. But in the meantime, we're just going to wait for her cast-offs. It was Greg who was sent home. It was Greg. Because I'm waiting to hear from
my
Greg.
sweater guy. I call him the sweater guy.
You can call him whatever you want as long
Wait,
as
Greg.
he calls me.
Kathy is very interesting and interested, if you
Look
will.
at you.
I hope
Susan's-
you're listening, Greg. Give her a ringy ding ding.
Susan's my wing woman. All right. Well, we got to move on to our questions here, but we can't wait for week 4.
I know. I love doing this every week while it's fresh on my mind,
I've been on the hunt to cure, and I definitely get that. And Nutrafol knows that. Formulas that are tailored to give your hair what it needs. To go to Nutrafol.com and enter the promo.
World of cult killers in FX's horror.
What's one thing about getting old?
All right. So, Susan, you want to start us off? Let's get going here. You want to start us off with the question of the day?
Okie dokie, we'll wait. Okay. What's one thing about getting older that you wish you knew sooner?
For me, I wish that I had known that it's something that you can't avoid. And so instead of saying things like I used to say, I don't want to get old. I don't want to get old now. I feel like it is a gift that I have the wisdom, the good health, the understanding of life, that it's a gift getting older.
But what
and
do you
being here.
wish you knew? It says
that it's okay to get older. I think I was so afraid of it before. I don't want to get older. I wish I knew that getting older comes with privilege and understanding and wisdom. I know
wish
it now.
Knew. I wish
But-
I knew that all the confidence that I have in myself and all the life experiences, well, that you kind of figured you were going to get, but the confidence that we have at this age, and we know ourselves and truly love who we are.
Right.
I didn't know if I was going to love myself. You
Right,
know what I
that's-
mean?
yeah,
But that comes with
exactly.
age. It
And
absolutely does.
I think that there's so many gifts of age. I just
Yeah.
wish I had known the gifts were coming before I had to
I
live
didn't
it
know
out.
about all the aches and pains some days, but I get hurt easy.
Yeah, they don't tell you that. That's not in the
Oh,
handbook.
my
That's
gosh,
not in the
no.
handbook.
All right, Kathy, we're going to get into these fan questions. And what's our first one today, Kath?
All right. Let's go here. All right. Anonymous writes,
Okay.
Dear Susan and Kathy, I first want to say how much I've been enjoying your podcast. You are one of a kind women that I've come to consider as my coffee buddies.
I love that.
I love that. I do. We're thrilled to be your coffee buddy. I always listen to your podcast with my first cup of coffee. And more importantly, I truly look up to you and value your opinions as if you were my other mothers. Oh, I love that.
That's so sweet.
Okay, here comes the question. I need your advice on quite a serious issue. 3 years ago, I was diagnosed with Hodgkin's lymphoma and had to undergo aggressive chemotherapy for 6 months. I've been in remission since and have also gone back to work and managed to get promoted twice. So I knock on wood that I have a very privileged life. I was single when I got sick and have been single since. Not one date, not one flirt. Looking back at the past 3 years, I now realize that chemo had a much more severe side effect when it comes to my self-confidence, especially with regards to my physical appearance. I hate to admit it, but losing my hair really impacted me, and I am only now finally regaining trust in myself and getting out there. I met a man 2 months ago at work. He was just hired at the place where I work at a rank higher than mine. He is incredibly kind and smart and funny, and the feelings that I already have for him are like nothing I've ever experienced. We have been discreetly dating, and it is getting serious by the day. Wow. Although we are technically not doing anything wrong, as he is not my direct supervisor, it is quite frowned upon for us to date due to the difference in hierarchy. I can only imagine the gossip it would generate at work, but most importantly, I am so scared it could impact my career that has been advancing so well. You can understand that, especially as women, the world is tougher on us than it is on men, and so I would get a bigger backlash than he would. He understands and has been very discreet and supportive, but we can't keep dating in secret, and I can't keep living like that, especially that I see this relationship working out in the long run. I am really falling for him, but my job is so important too. What do I do? Wow. First of all, congrats on successfully fighting Hodgkin's lymphoma.
God bless you.
Yeah.
Yes.
So congrats to you on that.
Is there a law in that?
Well, she said it's most.
I know it's frowned upon, but maybe keep it discreet until you really decide either A, you're going to move in or get married, and then you go to your boss before the boss hears it. But you'd have to be so cool. I would fail profusely. I mean, I would look at him in certain ways. I know I couldn't hide it. I don't know how well you do it. And you said he's doing a good job of it. Yeah. Avoid him in the workplace.
Well, that's hard too. The thing is, it's
well. What's the other option?
Well, I got a few ideas here. I like your idea. It's a difference in hierarchy, which means he's obviously at a higher level than she is, and so that's probably what they frown upon. Because then it looks like nepotism or something if she gets.
And then the other people are going to be like, you're sleeping your way to the top.
Exactly. I think, I don't know. I hate saying this to her because she's been through so much already. And I'm, first of all, delighted that you've met someone that you're so excited about. But I have to say to you, you've only met the guy 2 months ago. It's so new that you are already, and I get it because you haven't been dating. Susan and I make jokes all the time. You know, we haven't had a date, but the reality
she worked
is
there first. He just got hired.
He just got hired. But here's the thing: none of that matters right now because you've only known him 2 months.
Give it
so
time.
You know, get to know him a little bit better. This may all be much ado about nothing. You may decide next week that he's history, or he may decide you're history. But
she's falling for him.
I know, but I would encourage you to don't fall too hard too fast. Unless you're on The Bachelor, and then you got about 10 weeks, so make it happen.
Unless your name's Susan Knowles, because that's my problem.
Yeah, but I mean, I think if it does get serious, Susan's right. You could go to the boss and say, you know, we've been dating.
Tell the truth, right?
Or one of you could look for a similar job in the same industry at another company.
That's tough,
I mean,
Kat. That's
you're not the
asking
first
a lot.
one.
Yeah,
They're
I know.
not the first one that has to do with it.
I know people in companies that did get married, you know?
Yeah, she doesn't say whether that's possible.
No, but it's only 2 months. But I do.
But
wish you
I'm
luck.
glad. I'm glad. We're glad that, your hair's growing back, that you're healthy,
gosh.
that you have more confidence. Keep that up, girl. Regardless of what happens with this situation, just keep being the strong person that you have become due to your illness. So,
And
yay,
it seems to me that you are a very good, hard worker, confident, and strong as hell to go through all that. Don't let this tear you down.
Yeah.
If you have to, like I said, as it advances, then you go sit down with your boss.
And I don't necessarily agree. Just one more quick comment that the world is tougher on women than it is on men. I think those days are over. I think
Both of you will get backlash.
yeah, I think you both would get even backlash. That's
Yeah.
the hope. Okay.
But
Go ahead,
thank
Susan.
you. And we wish you all the best.
Yeah, let us know. Let us
And
know
if
how
you
it goes.
decide to get married, call me. I'll come out and do it.
Stay healthy,
All right.
Anonymous. Stay healthy.
This is also from Anonymous. Hi, Susan and Kathy. I love listening to the show, and you both have really encouraged me to find true love in myself, and someone will come to me when the time is right. I love that. I'm reaching out because me and my best friend have never been in a serious relationship. We're both 27, and my best friend is now in the talking stages with a guy she really likes. I met him recently, and overall did not get good vibes from him. He just seems like he's not good enough for her and has some frat boy red flags and behaviors, which is overall just very obnoxious for a 28-year-old. She was genuinely so distraught, not mad at me, but felt like she was seeing the same things, but didn't know what to do because she really liked him. She then had a productive conversation with him and has been recently seeing him more, meeting his family, and says she really likes him. I can't shake my impression of him and still feel very protective. How do I get over this and genuinely support her if she is happy? I'd love to hear any advice you ladies may have. Thanks.
You know what Nike
It's
says?
not her problem.
Just do it. Get over it.
Yeah,
Just
you gotta-
how do you do it, Anonymous? You just do it. You had the talk with her, which I'm not sure I would have done. Maybe I would have been your best friend. She heard you. She had a productive conversation with him. You've done your deed. Leave her alone.
Yeah.
Let her live her life.
Yeah. And
Do you
know
agree,
what?
Susan?
Yes, I do. And if you're a real friend and it doesn't work out, you don't have to say, I told you so. You just be there for her. But maybe try to see something else on the better side of him. Maybe he is trying to change.
I mean, if she's happy, she's happy.
Yeah. Leave it alone.
I mean, and you know what? Do you think, I hate to say this, do you think there's a little bit of envy? Because
Maybe it could be. Yeah.
A
because
little bit
she
of
hasn't
envy there.
had one. And they're young yet. They're 27 and 28.
Well, that's
I
not
know it's
that
big.
young.
It's big, but let her handle it. All right.
All right, let's get on here. And good luck. Good luck with this.
Yes, absolutely.
And Scarlet Sport went viral this year, and I
Vision's Agatha.
Closet overhaul, interesting finds.
I want your opinion. Please keep this. Okay, another question. Another anonymous person writes, Hi, Kathy and Susan. I just love your podcast. I love hearing your perspectives on different topics. I have something that has been bothering me, and I want your opinion. Please keep this anonymous. Well, yes, we will. Backstory. I have been divorced for 6 years. During that time, I have dated, but nothing serious until now. I met someone online and have been with him for almost 2 years. We're having a blast. I can truly be my 100% self with him. He is amazing. I am so happy. I was picky because I finally found my guy. The issue is I don't really have the support of my sisters. It's strange, actually. They're happy for me, but one recently told me they feel he is trying to keep me in a bubble. They feel we don't do enough with other people. But honestly, we're just enjoying ourselves. We don't need to be with others to keep us happy. We do surprise dates. We travel. We have adult children that are included in a lot of our hobbies. I'm 47 and he's 54. And don't get me wrong, we love to hang out with others, but we really enjoy our alone time too. We do try to balance friends and being by ourselves. To back it up, when I was single, I did see my friends more and my sisters. But isn't this what being with a partner is? Isn't this my end goal? I feel as if my sisters enjoyed me being single way more than me having someone. I was available to them 24/7 as I didn't have anything else going on. Some of my friends who are very happy for me and extremely supportive say they are jealous. But seriously? Jealous of their sister? I find that odd. Any advice would be greatly appreciated. What do you think, Susan?
Keep enjoying your man. Tell your sisters, guys need to be happy for me. This is what my end all is. This is what I want out of life. No. Don't feel guilty.
Anonymous, I got to say, Susan and I answer a lot of questions, and I'm reading this going, seriously? I'm saying the same thing you're saying. Like you could have written the answer. I mean, they might be envious. They might be jealous. I think you're right. They loved having you around 24/7. So, you know what? Tell them to get over it. You are.
Yes,
and
don't
by the
feel
way,
guilty.
Susan and I are envious that you have found your forever guy. Congrats to you. And we both wish you a lifetime of happiness.
Absolutely. Gosh. I mean, she's so happy. Sisters,
they travel. They have adult children they see. They do surprise dates.
Right.
I have one question for you.
Right, Kathy.
Anonymous, does he have an older brother? A single older brother?
I love it.
Oh, man.
All right. Question number 4. Casey asks. Hi, Kathy.
I think her name is Cassie.
Cassie. Okay. I just love your show and your upbeat, positive spin on everything. Your advice is always honest and spot on. I noticed that lately you have been focusing on dating and relationship issues, but I have a question about parenting. And since I know you are both grandmothers, I was hoping you could help me. I have a very close relationship with my children and see my 6 grandkids several times a week. Each of my daughters has 3 children. They range in age from 3 to 11. I am constantly babysitting as well as picking them up from school, helping with homework, and helping prepare dinner. I absolutely adore my grandchildren, and they give me so much love right back. I was a very easygoing mom and didn't have a whole lot of rules. My kids were really well behaved, and I rarely yelled or punished them. The problem is that my kids have lots of rules as parents, and I am having a hard time enforcing them. My children get upset with me because I tend to let things go and don't reprimand the kids when they break those rules. But I believe that the joy of being a grandma is not having to discipline. Have either of you had this issue? Is there any advice you can give me? Oh, baby, do I feel you. Yes, my daughter gets so mad at me. You know what? And I get mad at her because they're always punished. They never have this. They never have their iPad. Like, my goodness. Yes, grandmoms are supposed to spoil kids. However, if they did something disrespectful, I'm certain you would reprimand them. Am I right, Kat? Do you agree?
You're going to shocker of all shockers. I don't agree with you.
Whoa,
I partially agree with you. Here's the thing.
There's
my
no
in-laws.
partial.
Well, I'll tell you why. I think it depends on how you're spoiling them. My kids, my in-laws, it was if I said white, they said black. And if I said black, they said white. In other words, they would do exactly the opposite of what I wanted to be, contrary. Wait, so I would say to my in-laws when they came over in my home, listen, don't give the kids cookies at 5 o'clock because like I'd be there. We're going to be eating soon. Mm-hmm. And they were like, no, we get to spoil them. I don't think that's right.
That's a different story.
Well, here's the thing. If the grandmother is taking the kids to her house, then you know what? She gets to do, you get to do what you want to do, Cassie. If those kids are at your house, when my kids went to my in-laws' house, they spoiled them rotten, and I bit my tongue and just thought, you know what? It's their grandparents. They're going to see them for 10 days, and then we'll go back to our rules. But if you're going over there and helping them and they're complaining, you know what my advice to you is, Cassie? Stop being so available.
So that's
Don't go.
the same as agreeing
If-
with me, though. I mean, you said you don't agree.
Well, I said it depends. Like, I did not like my in-laws spoiling my kids, giving them literally cake, an hour before dinner.
Anytime
I said,
they
please.
want it. Yeah, well, that I can
and their
understand.
answer
Yeah.
always was, we're grandparents and it's our right to spoil.
Right,
and that's
right.
what Cassie's saying. So I'm saying, Cassie, reevaluate how you're spoiling them. Just because you're the grandmother doesn't give you the right to do everything that you want whenever you want. On the other hand, if you feel it's your right and they're giving you a lot of flack, then all you have to do is say, can't do it today. And one or two things will happen. They'll either find a babysitter or they'll call you up and say, you know what? We really don't care if they have cookies 5 minutes before dinner. It's going to go one way or the other. I mean, do you agree or not?
Yeah. When it comes to cookies before dinner, that's a whole different. She wasn't mentioning the food part, but I get it because my daughter's rules and their punishments are nothing like I agree with it this time, but I bite my tongue a lot and I still give in to my grandchildren. That's all.
Yeah. Well, you know what?
Oh, my favorite game's coming. Oh,
I can't. I'm so excited.
I want to
love it.
veto this.
I love this game. All right, here we go. We're going to play Moral Quandary. You know the rules, Susan. You're going to guess what I would do, and then I'm going to guess what you would do or say. I'm going to get us started with the first one. Here we go. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
Let's have a little enthusiasm here. Okay, your daughter has been really stressed out, so you've been babysitting more than usual. You accidentally cursed in front of your grandchild, and she ended up getting in trouble at school for using that word. Your daughter comes to you really upset and assumes it's her husband's fault. Do you fess up or keep quiet? Susan Knowles would burst out laughing and say, am I right?
That is just stupid. Next. I mean, seriously. Of course we're going to tell. You're going to tell, though. That was me. You're not going to let your son-in-law get blamed, are you?
Depends if he's been nice to me that week or
Oh,
not.
my God. Moving on. No, that was bad. All right. You found out that your child cheated on their LSAT exam without getting caught and got a very high score. Now they've been accepted to a very good law school that you're paying for. What do you do?
Can I answer this question?
Yes.
It's impossible to cheat on the LSAT. I'm an educational consultant. But let's just pretend it is possible. It's not. You know what I'd say?
Good
I
luck.
am
You better
so proud
study
of you.
hard.
I'm so proud of you going to Harvard Law School. Congratulations. Because you know what? The LSAT's one test it's one predictor. I mean, whatever. And I just broke the rule and I gave the answer, but because I know what the LSAT.
Ladies and gentlemen, wait, make everyone aware of what just took place. Did you see and hear that?
Susan-
Nope, Kathy, zip it.
I'm not
Kathy-
zipping it. Do you know what the LSAT
Kathy
is?
broke the law. She broke the rules.
Let
Yes,
me just
I know
say,
the LSAT
this
is.
would be Kathy 1, Susan 1001. I think I'm still
She
winning
needs
here.
to make that point because she just got caught. All right.
Moving on,
You
Susan.
recently got a new dog and absolutely loved it. It's very well trained, except it doesn't do very well around your young grandchildren who play a little too aggressively. Your daughter confronts you about this and asks you to do something about the dog since you often have to babysit the kids at your house. What do you do?
What you would do? Let me think. I'm not sure if you would lock up the dog or tell your daughter that you'd do one of the two. You'd either say, I'll lock up the dog, or you would say, listen, I've got this dog. I can't, we're just going to have to, your kids are going to have to learn to play nicely
I'm
around
going
the
to
dog.
get my grandchildren and say, this is what happens when you do this.
Is that what you would do?
Yeah, teach them. You can't do that in front of the dog. Oh, and if the dog's really out of control, yes, I would lock it up. But
What do you think I would do?
you would probably put the dog away for the kids.
I would do exactly what you would do.
Oh,
I would
good.
teach
See?
them-
I hate this game. I don't know anything.
I would teach. I would, but exactly the same thing. I would teach them about the dog, and then if it was getting bad, I would, I would lock up the dog.
I mean,
all
it's your grandkids.
It's your grandkids. After all, they're not replaceable.
Exactly.
Okay. Your close friend, roommate, and her boyfriend begin having a disagreement as the three of you are hanging out.
Ugh.
Your friend is very clearly in the wrong, but is standing her ground and refuses to apologize. The boyfriend, who has also become a good friend to you, looks to you for help. What do you do? Oh, Susan, this is a no-brainer for you. You are going to call it out exactly how you see it.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, what am I going to do?
I think you would do the same.
Okay, this is getting scary. We're agreeing again.
Because these questions. You're at a concert.
No, wait a minute. It's because we both. No, it's not because of the questions. It's because you and I have such high moral standards that we agree.
I'm truthful. Yeah, I wouldn't want to embarrass her or anything, but hey, yo, because I've done it. Next one.
Go on.
You're at a concert for an artist you love. You're having a blast until the group next to you starts getting really rowdy, singing loudly, filming themselves with flash, and occasionally getting you in the background of the videos. Do you confront them, try to focus on having a good time, or try something else?
You are just going to join in and party with them. Am I right?
It depends if they were pissing me off or something. I don't know. I'm like, yo. But yeah, you're outside at a concert. I mean,
that's, what am I going to do?
Make it happen. Really? Why are you being a stick in the mud? Then you shouldn't go to concerts.
Wait, what am I going to do?
You would have been partying with them from the jump street. I mean, forget about it.
I would have been sliding into their
Egging
pictures.
them on. Let's go.
I'd be like,
picture.
what is it
I
called
want to
when
be
you
on
jump
that
into their
video. I
pictures?
need to post it. I think Kathy and I would definitely be on these people's videos on purpose. Like, we would definitely jump in.
Oh, for sure we would jump in. Oh, my gosh. All right.
Thank God that game's over.
Oh, come on. You did such a good job, Susan. You're getting better all the time.
Gosh.
Your moral standards. I love it. Okay, well, I hate to break the news to you, Susan, but this is going to do it for this episode of Happy Hour. Thanks, everybody, for joining us. We hope you've had as much fun as we've had.
I sure hope they do. And don't forget, submit some questions, because look what we do with them. And just submit them to bachelornation.com/golden hour. We really love to connect with you guys and like to know what's going on in your world, in your mind, and keeping our advice. I mean, you could take it or leave it. It doesn't really matter, but we love doing it.
Wait, I have an idea, Susan, before we sign off here. How about if they send us their own moral quandaries? What do you think?
My God.
I'd
like to send them some.
All right,
Who
well,
made
listen,
this game
everybody.
up anyhow?
We love it. We just can't wait to see you next time. Listen to Bachelor
Absolutely.
Happy Hours Golden Hour on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you listen to podcasts. Until next time, see you then. Have a great day.
Ciao.